Oh, okay.
They're gonna make you eat. Are you hungry? Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. It is a lovely Thursday. We are afternoon now, and here in the great state of South Carolina. So we're coming to you live. Can y'all hear me? Let's start off with that. I just want to say good morning. Good morning. So good to be here. So glad that y'all are showing up because we all need a little bit of support, right? I know I do. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Can y'all hear me? Well, if you can't, I'm sure I'll find out soon enough. So, yesterday I finally released that video. I'm sure most of you know that. Uh-oh. Whoops. That is another reason why we're here. Okay, great. Thank you, V. That's what I wanted to know. Awesome. Awesome. Thanks, Mo. So yeah, it's Thursday. I've got a super busy day. Both Larry and I do. We have to take care of some things today. We've got this wedding coming up, and well, anybody who has been the parent of one of your children getting married, you know that there's a lot involved. Even if you're the mother of the groom, I don't have a whole heck of a lot to do, but I still have to make sure that we're ready for it. So let's just say good morning. And quick question for y'all. Have you had breakfast yet? And if so, what did you eat? Or do you have a plan for a meal maybe after the live? I have not eaten yet. I have my trusty coffee. It's my morning fuel, but it's really not. It's my morning comfort. That is not a donut or toast, potatoes, anything like that. So, Papa Frank, I hope you are very safe on the road. Enjoy your time in Knoxville. Good morning, Terry. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing great. You're driving too. Okay, well, you be safe on the road. Please be safe on those roads. So crazy out there nowadays. V. Osborne says, good morning, everybody. Cassie, thank you so much for doing the video yesterday. So you saw it? Yeah, I know. I responded. I related to it so much. It encouraged me to keep going. That's all we can do is just keep going, right? Otherwise, we know what's in store for us. Otherwise, we're running toward that freight train and not just trying to get off the tracks, right? Hey, Joe. Morning, Joe. I have my morning. Well, it's now afternoon. Joe. Hello, Liz. Good morning. Cheeto the Magnificent. Hello from New Mexico. Well, hello from South Kakalaki. Hi, Melissa. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. And then we got Stardust Luna. And let's see. Good. You all can hear me. Hey, y'all. Okay, Mikey. Only have a few minutes. Have a meeting, but wanted to pop in. Well, thanks for stopping in. And good luck on your meeting. Sometimes meetings are just I hope it's an exciting meeting and in a good way. Luz Diaz. Hello. You are so sweet. I have so much love for you. Tammy. Good morning, Cassie. Great to be here with you and everyone else. I hope all are doing well. I am. Today is day 8 for me. And I am feeling so much better than I did a week ago. A week ago, I just wanted to throw in the towel and call it done and just go on with my life. That's a sad place to be in, but much different attitude today. And I'll tell you what, filming that video, which was done 2 days ago, it was a long time coming. My plan was, with my absence here on YouTube, was to just keep kicking butt, reach my goal weight, and then just pop up one day and say, surprise, I did it. Surprise, I didn't. But hanging in there. Mama P, good morning. She says, good morning, Mama Cass. Sending you love and support. Let's do this. Absolutely. Let's just do it. Just keep doing it, right? So Penny says, hello, everyone. I didn't tune in yesterday because I thought Larry said there wouldn't be one until today. I'm so sorry I missed it. You all are very encouraging. No, I don't think there was a meeting yesterday. Was there? If there was, I wasn't part of it, so I don't know. Um, but let's see. Stardust. Food. Let's talk food because that's really what this channel is about. Making sure you eat the right food and not overdoing it and keeping yourself in check and accountable and encouraged. Leftover pork ribs for breakfast. That sounds delightful. Nodak Carnivore. Good morning, all. Good morning, Cassie. Nice to see you today. Well, it's good to see you too. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Tammy is fasting today. Good on you. Good on you, girl. That is not easy to do. I just find that I'm coming up with all these roadblocks, all these things that I want to do, like fasting. I was going to do alternate day fasting, even some intermittent fasting. And I'm just, even though I do, but with the cream in my coffee, that stops any of the good stuff that comes out of fasting. Mikey has had no meal yet, breakfast, breaking fast around 3. Good on you, Mikey. Good on you. Melissa has had 5 slices of bacon at 11:20. That'll fill you up. Nope, same. No breakfast. No breakfast yet. Steak chunks. That sounds pretty good. Liz. Good morning, Liz. Having scrambled eggs and butter after meeting. I love scrambled eggs. That's my favorite way to eat eggs. How about you? I mean, I like them sunny side up too, but I love scrambled eggs. They're simpler. You can't. You almost can't mess them up unless you burn them. But that's not. It can't be done because I've done it. Alan, hello, Alan. It's so good to see you. She said, "Hey, kids." Stardust Luna, what video was that? I put out a video yesterday talking about my binge eating. So it's our most recent video. If you're anything like us and you're struggling and you've had at least 1 million day ones, well, that is a good video. That's what I'm talking about. It's so frustrating. And we'll get into that in a minute. I just want to say hi to everybody. Good morning. Watch your video. We all have to keep fighting. Yes, because if we stop, well, then we stop. If we stop, we stop. We become, what's the word? I'm not looking for complacent. We just aren't our best selves. Everything stops. Our happiness stops. Aches and pains begin. And it's just not a good place to be in. Your joy stops. So much stops, even though you're eating some food that is tasty to the palate, it still stops us from doing a lot. It stops us from achieving dreams, goals, bucket lists. I want, one of my bucket lists is to be in a marathon. Maybe not the 26K, but I want to be in a marathon. And I know there are some real easy ones to start with, but, if I'm not eating and I'm not moving, it's not going to happen. Good morning. Good morning, Carl. Hello from South Georgia. Love the recent video. As always, you guys are keeping it real, and that's why we love you. God bless. Okay. Keeping it real. We're real. We're authentic. I have heard and read that so many times, and I always not always, but the words always and never, I need to stop using them so often because it's not always and it's not never, right? But so if we're real and authentic, just being ourselves, what does that make everybody else? That's a question that has entered my mind. I'm like, I hear this over and over and over. Are people just not authentic? Some of these other influencers, some of them are. I'm not naming names or anything like that, but just for that comment, it's just almost constant. At least in every video, it's a constant. Hey guys, Cowgirl says, hey guys, I'm struggling, still not feeling well because I'm eating crap. Oh boy, do I know that? Because I'm still a baby, coming out of the woods. I'm still trying to find myself out of the woods. I'm getting stuck in bramble. But yeah, and the thing that is just so crazy to me is for any of us who have been on carnivore, keto, ketovore, anywhere in the low carb spectrum, low to no carb spectrum, and we've done it for any amount of time, it's the best you've ever felt, right? Never felt better. You have energy. The food noise is gone. The list goes on and on and on. And yet we return to our old ways. And I have a great idea for a video. I'm not going to say it here live. I've been talking with Larry about it because I don't want anybody to steal our video. It's a good idea. But it's something that we deal with. And it's like, you go back. After feeling so amazing and on top of the world, and even times that I've felt invincible, nothing can touch me. No disease, no sickness, I can't be touched. And still went back. And there wasn't anything tragic that happened. It wasn't like an emotional thing. I don't know. I'm still scratching my head over it. I can't figure it out. Cindy, she says, hello, CQ fam. Well, hello, Cindy. Good morning. Thanks for stopping in. I'm glad to see you. It's a good cup of Joe. Kim, good morning with a heart. I decided to go ahead and eat so I wouldn't snack or be tempted by junk. I ate 4 burger patties with cream cheese. Yeah, that'll do it. That was one thing that I always, there's that always word. That's one thing that I had said. If you're full, you're not even going to think about cheating. Just stay full. I know I need to take my own advice, but that was one thing that I had learned. Stay full, and you're going to be less tempted. Noon, Shell Bell. She says, good afternoon. Cass, so great to see you. It's great to see you too. I'm glad you're here, getting support, and we're going to keep doing this thing, right? Sam Sapphire. Yes, good morning, Cassie and CQ crew. Say that 10 times fast. What a great video. Watched the whole thing and enjoyed it. I do OMAD, and at dinner I have a meat bowl of ground beef, turkey bacon, and scrambled eggs in bone broth. That sounds like a very nutritionally dense meal and clean. I love turkey bacon. It reminds me of ham. The best one I've ever had, and I can't find it in stores. I can find their beef bacon in stores, is the Godshall's brand. Their turkey bacon, it's so tasty. T-Bear, what's happening, Tim? Day 2. I am 100% in this time. Good. I hope you do well. It's got to be difficult being on the road, but you do have a toilet on the semi, right? But still, you're going down the road, you got your lovely wife, Erin, she's hooking you up, she's driving or whatever, and you got to take care of business. I can't imagine that's very comfortable being on the road and having to take care of business while you're barreling at 65, 70 miles down the road. Ketovore Gearhead. Hi, Cassie. It's great to see you as always. Well, it's great to see you too. I'm glad you're here. Uh-oh. Something I missed. Shell Bell, did you get your grinder? Are you looking for a meat grinder? I would love one. I have just about every other appliance in the world that I could possibly need and don't use, but that's one I would like. I'd like to be able to grind up my own beef. But the fact that I have 2 sons who are butchers, they can really grind up anything for me, anything but chicken. But yeah, I can just get it from them. Erica Clark, good morning. Hi, how are you? There he is, Papa Frank. Hey, keep your eyes on the road. Unless you're doing voice. Is your phone that smart to where you can voice comment? I mean, I can voice text, while I'm driving. I still have to press a few buttons, but comment. There have been a few times I would be listening to the live while I'm on my way into work. And yeah, I couldn't possibly comment. I'm cooking up a ribeye as we speak. My favorite cut. Do y'all have a favorite cut? I mean, I think the vast majority is going to say a ribeye. I also love a good New York strip, and I love me some filet. So good. Yeah, I saw that in your post. Dehydrated bacon on the road. I've not tried dehydrating bacon, and I think maybe I will. Okay. back to the drama, the meat grinder drama. Let's find out. Hi, Joe. Yes, we did, but on the cheaper side. So still works great and does the job. I posted a video on community page. Oh, I'm going to have to look into that because you guys know that I haven't been so active with the exception of the last few days when I finally kicked myself in the butt and said, girl, you can't be absent from your groups. You can't be absent from YouTube or even Instagram, none of that. And even like my personal page, the last thing I posted was something about Charlie Kirk and Irina. I know I'm not saying her name properly. That sweet little Ukraine girl. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm not trying to be a downer. I don't even want to start thinking about it. I'm afraid I might start crying. Terry P. made it home. Hopefully didn't miss much. No, we're just saying, hey, good morning. We're just kind of stretching and getting, loosening up for this live. That's all. You didn't miss a whole heck of a lot other than what are you eating? Have you had breakfast yet? And if not, what's your plan for the day? Yesterday I made my chicken soup recipe. Well, it's not a recipe, okay? The chuck roast and the chicken soup, I can't claim it as my own. You all name it that way, but it's not. I mean, that's an age-old cooking tradition, and it's just something because it seems so simple that nobody, it wasn't known. I mean, a lot of some of our older members and our followers, subscribers, whatever, older people remember their parents doing it. My mom never did. She was a crock pot queen, hamburger helper, tuna helper. But, in the comments of the chuck roast, video, the how-to, a lot of people said, that's how my mom made it, So it's an old cooking method that nobody really does up until recently. You look up chuck roast. If you were to go like on YouTube and incognito mode and you look up chuck roast, my face is usually the first one to pop up. And that makes me happy. I'm so happy that the simple recipe of water, salt, and meat tastes absolutely amazing. You wouldn't think so, but I won. I always win, mostly. There's that always word again. Oh gosh, I really got to work on my grammar, my vocab. What takes you best out of a relapse? Oh man. Well, what I'm doing right now. And so I've definitely considered going back into carnivore because I've noticed, especially this last week, and maybe it's just cleansing. I'm having a hard time, again, with a loose stool. One thing that I absolutely hate about not consuming grains, I mean, it wasn't like that pre-surgeries, after my appendix ruptured, then the loose stool came. It didn't matter what I ate. And then it just, as time went on, I guess my body adjusted to that. And yeah. So that was one thing, the loose stool, the unexpected loose stool, the urgent loose stool, the loose stool that you really have to run and squeeze. You have to run to the bathroom and squeeze. That was me. I know that's TMI, and if you're eating, I'm so sorry. Oh, geez. But anyway, keto. And if you want to transition into carnivore, this is just my advice. I think a keto lifestyle would be great, whether it's a week or a month, as long as it takes you until you're ready to take the next step, which would be then maybe eliminating some of the vegetables and then just going meat only. It depends on how strict you want to be. I mean, the label carnivore, well, I don't even want to get into that because some people are just fine on seasonings. Others are not. Yes, Shelbell. Absolutely correct. However, Larry whips my tail maybe 60 to, let's go 70% of the time, 2/3 of the way anyway. 2/3 of the time he whips me in chest. So I get one in on him every now and then, but one day. Erica, we're traveling today and we stopped at the Pink Cadillac Diner for breakfast in Roanoke, Virginia. They always make me a meaty omelet with the eggs super thin. So good. That sounds really good. Never heard of it. And I love the name of that little dino. That's cute. So cute. Yes, yes, yes. That is something I'm still dealing with, I believe, because most recently I've been leaning a little more on this with the heavy cream, and my knees have been hurting quite a bit lately. But when I was off the rails, when I was in Florida and then even after, gosh, I felt awful. It's like I ruined my vacation by wanting to enjoy the culture, enjoy the food that comes out of the Miami. And we were actually in Cocoa Beach this time, the seafood and all that. But I ruined it because I was tired and bloated and my joints hurt. It wasn't my best vacation. Now you go back 2 years ago and I went on vacation with my other daughter and her husband. We went to, we were in the Miami area then, and I did really well and I felt great. And I even worked out. I went to the gym that was provided at our hotel. I worked out and I walked. Much different, the difference. But yeah. Oh, do I sound so low? Even with yours adjusted. We get that sometimes. I don't know what it is. I think it just could be your type of phone, but or if you're on your television, I don't know. But if I get too close to the microphone, then it's going to be too loud. How dare you? I hope your phone call went well. Was it somebody trying to extend your car warranty? Oh my gosh, I get so many of those phone calls. It's so aggravating. Shell Bell. Cassie, I watched you. Left a too long of a comment because I can in there. I love seeing your face. Let's be stronger together. Amen. Let's be stronger together. That's all we can do. We've got each other, and that's what we're going to do. Oh, JD, there's not a whole heck of a lot of catching up to do, but just, I haven't said anything of major significance other than I think that tomorrow, let's start with keto. If you've fallen off the rails, start with keto and then just slowly transition. But what was it, about 3 years ago when Larry and I did the BBB challenge, 4 years ago maybe, for the first time. I was coming off of a dirty Ketovore. And when I say dirty, I was consuming no carb, sugar-free Jello. And I would just take some of that packet and whip it, I would make the Jello. That's right. I've also taken some of the package and whipped it into heavy cream, but I would make that sugar-free Jello and then I just pour heavy cream over it. And I ate a lot of that. I ate a lot of the sugar-free stuff, and that was no bueno. No good. So, yeah, but whole food keto is your best option. And then take it from there. Good morning, Mary and all. She says, good morning, Cassie and all. Eating 2 fried hamburger patties with 6 lightly fried egg yolks while watching the whites cause flare-ups in my osteoarthritis. Yeah, I've heard a lot of that. I couldn't even imagine, and maybe one day I will. I'm finding I'm becoming, the older I get, the more sensitive to food I am. The faster I bloat, and the inflammation comes, and like my joints, especially like my knuckles, they start to hurt. Hi, Leah. I'm glad you're here too. Welcome. Thank you, Nancy. I feel really good. I do. I feel really good. And a big weight was lifted off my shoulders when doing that video. And I got to edit it too. Larry did some of the editing, but most of that edit was mine. And the fart noise ideas was definitely Larry. But it was my idea to leave like 6 of them in there. I'm like, let's just go for it. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. This is what I want to talk about too. And I'm so glad that you brought this up, Cowgirl. It's 100% an addiction. I will be steadfast on plan and talk myself into going to the store to get junk I don't even want. But apparently some deep, dark void is trying to be filled. Dopamine over and over. Yes and yes. Yeah, that's for the last couple of months. That has definitely been me. It's like I wake up in the morning. I do good. Day 1, day 2. And I would get to the store, talk myself in and out of buying, the store that I go to, they have like ready sliced up cakes, so I wouldn't have to buy a full cake. Larry doesn't even know the full story, because I didn't want to tempt him. But yeah, I would get, and sweets weren't Larry's thing anyway. But addiction. Now, I'm not sure what everybody else thinks or feels, and I certainly haven't done any research into it, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Somebody had said that this isn't an addiction. Another person and a couple people, and here were some of the few reasons what it could be. Parasites. And another one was hormone imbalance. And then of course the last one would be it's mental. It's mental. But I don't know. And who really knows? Because it's so hard to differentiate the truth anymore, because everybody's right. Am I wrong? Everybody is right, and everybody has the right answer. Everybody has the research and the backup. Dr. Chafee says plants are going to kill you. Well, a vegan's going to say, are you kidding me? This is nutrient dense, that these animals, I did veganism. I did a juice fast. I felt incredible. My skin was literally glowing after a 3-day juice fast. I felt amazing. And my energy level was up and my confidence was up. And, I felt so good. I was a little lighter on my feet. So the truth is in there somewhere. It's in there somewhere. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I think we all have to do what's best for us. And that's that, without judgment. Do people in your real life, when you slip and you fall, do they judge you? Do they tell you you're not doing something right? Do they make you feel about this big? No, but here in the carnivore space, which this was also brought up, there was a comment and I thought, boy, you know what? You're right. When Larry and I first got in this space, with the exception of a few haters, right? A few, because there weren't as many channels going on the journey. It was just us, Laura Spath, Bella was there, Kelly Hogan, and a few others, but there wasn't anybody else. And like what Larry and I were doing, there were no Kips or Amandas or Carnivore Couple or anybody else like that who documented their journey. It was mostly love. It was mostly love. And we were all discovering this diet for the first time, and people were great. They were. And now it seems that there's just such a divide. There's a divide across the world anyway, right? It's terrible. But it wasn't like that. It wasn't dogmatic, and it wasn't people saying it's not addiction. You're full of beans. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The scientists, that are paid a very good amount of money, they commit their entire careers to, what is it, the TAS1 receptors in your brain, to tap into that to keep you addicted to their foods. So I do know about that. And that's something that they certainly don't want to promote. Hey, we're trying to keep you addicted to our foods. I mean, maybe it has something to do with altering your hormones or something like that. Again, I haven't done a lot of research on it, but I believe it is addiction. Addiction is addiction is addiction. And you can't tell me otherwise. You can try. And if you want to bring some research, please bring it. I would be more than happy to read up on that. I don't do my research like I used to, but when I first got after the cancer and researching, I researched like a maniac and learned about the keto. And I forgot most everything. I know, keep it under 20 grams. There you go. You're going to feel better. But I did a lot of research because, at that point, my life was on the line. Oh, okay. So you do get the God Shawls, and they have it at my Sam's Club. Isn't that so good? I love it. Tammy. Oh, I love the Smokies. We'll be in the Smokies next month, and my adult kids are so excited because I'll be able to do hikes and ride the rides with no issues. I feel great. Have lost 52 pounds since December 28th. Can't wait. Good for you, Tammy. Enjoy your time. Are you going to Dollywood? Tri-tip. Yes, yes. I never knew what a tri-tip was until I started working in the butcher shop, which is the same butcher shop that I got both of my boys into. So I was never a butcher, but I could definitely hack up a chuck roll and, cut a ribeye and strip loin. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you, Tim. Um, he said, no toilet, just stopped at Little America. Did not get the tuna melt. Got my caffeine pills, and I cannot fail again, right? You've been struggling too. You've been with us a long time, and you've been struggling. I think the first time that I recall you falling down was you went to Hawaii. You were on vacation. You were doing great. And I didn't want to say anything, but I knew that I thought he's going to fall. He's going to slip and fall. And you were doing so great. I think it was your first run on Carnivore, and that one vacation, just like me this last time, I mean, not really, but well, no, really, because I allowed myself. I was doing okay. I mean, yeah, I was binge eating, I needed to get that under control, but it was mostly animal based and seasonings, and spices. But that whole vacation, you get into that mentality, and it can just be way too easy to just go down that hole, and it's not great. But yeah, she sure is, isn't she? Good on you. Enjoy your vacation with your family, because that's so important. Hey, Tammy. Good morning. Glad to see you're here. Okay. Nodak. I drove through there back in July. That's in the middle of nowhere. Okay. Shellbell says, I normally eat OMAD, so tonight we are having pork steak and leftover parm wings. I love pork steak. That, besides a ribeye, would be my next favorite cut of meat. A pork steak with a bone in it, not a pork chop, that comes from a loin or there's different cuts. I'm not thinking pork chop. Pork chop is different than getting a loin, tenderloin or pork loin. But I love a pork steak. It's fatty. It's flavorful. Oh, man, it's so good. Chuck steak is my favorite. Yeah, I was introduced to chuck steak when I first worked at the butcher shop, and we carried certified Angus beef, so it's a little more expensive, and that's about as close to local farming that you're going to get. They are family-owned farms. They are not these commercial conglomerates. It's a lot different, because our representatives from our company went and met up at the certified Angus beef. I think it's in Iowa, maybe. Iowa. Yeah, that sounds about right. And, but yeah, certified Angus beef, it's just a nonprofit organization that they have better beef practices. They feed their cows better. It's a certain type, they're very thorough with making sure that their cows are treated well. But chuck steak, and we called it a preacher man, because there was one gentleman that used to come into the store, and he was a preacher, and he always asked for that particular cut, so they named it after him. And then another one would be a Denver, and we called that a Hudson steak, because there was a gentleman, his last name was Hudson, and they named it after him. But yeah, those are great. I remember having Wagyu chuck steak. This was maybe 10 years ago, between 8 and 10 years ago. And we had a vendor come in and gave us a bunch of food. It was one of the best things. It would have been it's a great place for a carnivore to work. But there are other temptations. But yeah, he brought in Wagyu chuck steak, and that was one of my favorite steaks to have. It was tender, it was flavorful, and you can't find them anymore. And the word Wagyu is just, it's been so watered down. The Wagyu beef isn't the same. It's not the same as it was when it first made its appearance, 8 to 10 years ago. It's different. But yeah, I love that. Okay. Charger Mobile. Okay, guys, listen. This dude, I would love to be like you, Rick. He's been on Carnivore over 40 years. And you're right. Shouldn't it be that simple? It should. I am in complete agreement with you. And over a year ago, I would have never thought that I would be in this position again. And this is the time I can use the word never, because I felt so good. I looked so good. I was on such a high over just feeling so good and losing weight, regaining my health. Like I was saying earlier, I felt invincible. This is a very simple diet, no doubt, but it's much more difficult for some than it is for others. I mean, I know that so many of you can relate to this. I'm not the only one. I had cancer. I said no to chemotherapy because I knew that nutrition was a better option. I thought, why would I put poison in my body if I don't need to? So I didn't. And with that, and we've learned a lot more about cancer, and there's a lot more theories saying that it could be from parasites. I don't know. One doctor says one thing, another one has committed their life to researching it, and they say something completely different. The truth is in there somewhere. But it should be simple. And I felt the same way as you did. You just didn't stop. So I had maybe a good 1.5 year run of doing really, really well. And I've had other spurts of good runs, but this last time I felt so good. I felt so good, Rick. And I know where I went wrong. I think it was the meal, but then it was months and months before anything else. So it's not like another week passed up, which I would normally do well for a week and then slip up again. No, I did well for months, and then I just fell. And then I went into dairy. I binged on the dairy and all the desserts and all of these recipes. And I am so much to blame. That fried chicken recipe that I put out. Have y'all seen me chow down on that thing? Because it was so good. It was so good. But yeah, people are struggling, Rick. And it's not something to take lightly. And I know, I think you're realizing that, because I know that you feel so good. And I was even there too. And there were a few people, I'm not going to call any names. They're in here in the live right now. Some people that were in our group, and I just couldn't understand. Day one again. I mean, I would slip and fall, but I never had anything quite after being carnivore, right? I've never had a more difficult time getting back on and staying back on like I am now. So I wouldn't say that I had a dogmatic attitude. My mindset was altered. And I thought, there's no way. Why would you want to go? Everything was poison. Well, for criminy sakes, the air is poison, the water is poison, the soil is poison, everything's poison. We can't look at it that way. But yeah, everything is poison. That sugar definitely is poison. And that's my downfall. I could just eat dessert all day, every day, which I used to do, which led me to cancer, right? Whether I'm feeding a parasite or just, that was fuel for the cancer cells. Anyway, I know I'm going off on a little run here, but it's true. There's 76 people in this live stream right now. And if everybody was off, I guarantee there would be well over 100 or 500. I mean, my most recent video has over 5,000 views, and so many people relate to that. It's like, well, why can't we? If this person can do it, why can't we do it? So there's something missing, Anyway. Thank you, Liz. Never TMI. Just keeping it real. Yep. Keeping it real. Why be anything else? My wife made the chuck roast on Monday, and I have not had a more flavorful roast. Right. Beef, salt, water. And even in that video, there are a few comments. Well, why don't you add some beef bouillon to it, or cook it in, a red wine, or cook it in bone broth, cook it in with Lipton onion soup mix. I thought, you don't need to. That's the whole purpose of this. In its natural form, it's amazing. If it just tasted okay, like it does in a crock pot or in an Instant Pot, I certainly wouldn't had even made it, but after I made it, oh my gosh, the world needs to know about this. These carnivores, we need to know that this is simple. It's perfect for lion. It's perfect for, general carnivore. And if you want to zhuzh it up with some spices, seasonings, or even some peppers or whatever, go for it. But in its most pure form, it is incredible. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Cool. Okay. This is interesting. Again, I've gotten a lot of comments on this, and I just don't want to start experimenting with this stuff. But I've heard of psyllium husk powder and other types of powder, bentonite clay. I don't know, but I really recommend you try it. If you have not, make sure to double the serving size to really see improvement. Well, I guess I'm not opposed to trying something new. I always say I'll try almost anything once. And if I'm carnivore, 5,000 times. Thank you. Thanks, Patricia. I don't think I've seen your name in here before. I don't know if you're new to our channel, but thank you. I appreciate that. And, I've always been the type of person, always. I swear we could make a game out of how many times will Cassie say always or never, and it really doesn't even apply. Oh man. Yeah, I want to help other people. I do. I have that drive in me to help others. Okay. I think I'm a little behind. Yeah, I'm about 20 minutes behind on these comments. So if you ask me a question, make a comment that you want read or whatever, wait 20 minutes. Okay. I can't read all of these, but, and there's a lot of you talking amongst yourselves, which is really cool. All right, Mary, what you eating, Mary? We're getting half a cow, half beef next week. Can't wait. Ran out of steaks and roasts for a few weeks now. Can't wait for the freezer to be filled and to make your roast. Yeah. Good for you. That's something that Larry and I have talked about. But I worry because I don't want to be stuck with a quarter or half a cow and it's not a very flavorful cut. Some of them, you get the half a cow. Anyway, have you had good luck with that? I mean, is this your first time, second time buying half a cow? That's a lot. That is a lot of meat. What does that hold you over for? Maybe a year? All right, Mikey, 20 minutes later. All right, I hope you have a great day. God bless you too. Yeah, I was thinking of Gidget, and I'm like, I wonder if she's going to be in here. I haven't seen her. I know she was struggling too. So Gidget, if you do watch this, just know that I'm thinking about you, and I hope you're doing okay. And if you're not, it's okay. Just come on back. Come on back. It'll give you a little boost. Okay. No judgment, but extended family praise a family member on a GLP-1 for their loss, and I get little to nothing for cutting out. Yeah. This GLP-1, y'all. Now, again, I didn't verify it, but I have no doubt. Wasn't there like a $2 billion settlement because 1,800-ish people had went blind off of one particular type of this medication? And that's very scary. Not to mention stomach paralysis, bone density, and you lose your lean muscle mass. If there's anything else, let me know. I'm just, to me, I get asked that an awful lot. And you should just take GLP-1. Yeah, I would love to just be able to pop a pill or take a shot or put on a patch and all the food noise goes away. I had a discussion with somebody at work the other day because he's on it. And I didn't know he was on it. And I was talking with another coworker who got started on carnivore. So I have a carnivore buddy at work. And he's a lot like me. It's a loose, dirty carnivore, right? Leaning more keto. Okay. And we're okay with that. We are just fine with it. But we both do know that, ultimately carnivore is superior to any diet for healing purposes, for cutting out the food noise. There's room for error on keto. There's even room for error on what we call carnivore, not the dogmatic carnivores or the cult member carnivores, but like Kelly Hogan's Oopsie Cake, which is just basically cloud bread, right? If you've not had it, I love cloud bread. But yeah, that was the first time, was after making that. It was Thanksgiving meal video. And I made that for the very first time. And that's when I knew that my binge eating wasn't in check. Now, I'm not going to binge eat a steak or a plain burger patty, but a dessert, or I've not even tried Chris cooking Nashville's potatoes. I'm sure they're amazing. I know me, and I'll eat way too much. The fried chicken, again, it was so flavorful, so tasty. That gravy was incredible. I would eat too much. So yeah, addiction or not, got to take it as serious as one. Thank you, Michael. I agree. And it doesn't matter, really. Just don't say that it's not unless you've got receipts to back it up, But again, it's differing opinions. Just like a vegan's going to say, are you kidding me? I feel best eating a vegan diet. Whole food vegan, not that Frankenfood, Impossible. Not even. I'm just done. I'm not even going to say it anymore. You know what I'm trying to get at. Hello, Angela. Angela says, I watched your video yesterday and it made me spill over with so much love for you. Aw, thank you. Many things you have gone through mimic my struggles. On dirty keto, only make it through 2 to 3 days. Yeah. There's more. Keto treats. And we're just talking about this. Carnivore treats, right? Carnivore desserts. I made a carnivore cheesecake. Anyway, keto treats have turned into my scapegoat whenever I'm in pain or fatigue or have emotional event or crisis. I wish my brain didn't need food to fix things. Isn't that the truth? It's your comfort. It's what we go to. When in reality, if we want to feel better, of course, a clean diet is definitely going to do the trick. But exercise. You want to feel good? You go out and you go for a walk. You exercise. But that's a roadblock. I don't know why. I want to. So just do it. Just do it. Hi, Stephanie. It's great to see you too. Hello. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you are. Oh, okay. Here we go. Question to the amusement park. Possibly Dollywood. Depends on what husband wants to do. It's for his upcoming retirement. Well, congratulations to your husband. Trying to stay healthy as he has CLL, smoldering. Oh my goodness. And just diagnosed last week with melanoma. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. You enjoy your time. Enjoy that time. Aaron, I have to cut back on high fat. Too many issues that don't go away. Need to keep some healthy veggies. Had a way too close incident the other day. Are we talking loose stool? Yeah, no more vacations for a while. Same here, brother. Same here. Bumblebee Adventures. That is such a bright and cheery name. Hello. I hope you're doing great. I always love to see a comment. And not only is that name, it's just bright. Your comments are, and you're awesome. So thank you so much. Aaron, dude, you're missing out. You are missing out. Any way it's cooked is amazing. But of course, I think any meat on the grill is that much better. So get yourself some charcoal, get a pork steak, and I promise you're going to come back and say, whoa, that was absolutely amazing. It is fatty, so you can cut around the fat, but yep. Then pork steak, I call poor man's steak. Yep, so tender, so delicious. Jim, how are you? How are you, my friend? Yeah, the struggle is definitely real. That's why we're all here. We're all here because we're struggling. Okay, continuing on this addiction, hormone, parasite conversation. I do believe it's an addiction. Growing up, my family would eat the entire bag of chips, but my husband's family, boyfriend at the time, would eat a few and then put the bag up. Yeah, why? Why is it that? I mean, just like some people. Okay, here's a great example. drugs. So about 25 years ago, I was involved in a car accident and where somebody made a left-hand turn in front of me. Doesn't matter. I was injured. It ended up herniating one of my discs. And for 2 years, I went to physical therapy and chiropractors trying to, help me eliminate pain. That nerve pain was something else. And I was on Vicodin. Yeah, Vicodin. And sometimes OxyContin. But, and I abused that medication for 2 solid years. I just popped them. It was a feel good, even though it really wasn't. But I was in my early 20s and dumb. And, but yeah, I abused them so much. And then I got off them and never had one craving for them. Where others, they could take it for a week or 2. And you hear of like a lot, especially like a lot of these athletes, they get hooked on that. It's like, well, why them and why not me? So it is something, it is individual. But just my opinion. These are all opinions, guys. I have no facts other than what I am going through. And even then, I don't know the facts. I wing it sometimes. Hey, Dustin, how are you? I'm glad that you're here. He says, good morning, friends. Good morning. Thank you, my dear. 78 in here right now. Yep. You do, if you don't have to, if you don't want to. But I'm just glad that, I'm just glad that y'all are here. Keto Simple then also says, all we can do is the best that we can do. Isn't that true? That's it. That's it. And that's all we can do. It's like the subliminal advertising is back deeper than ever. Yeah. Marion, hello. Hello, hello. Good afternoon, my friends. I hope you're doing fantastic. Yep. We can do the best that we can do. Set ourselves up for realistic success. What realistic looks like for each of us. Absolutely. I was saying that in yesterday's video, and I've been saying it all along. It's not one size fits all. It's not keto, carnivore, low carb, Atkins, you name it. Anywhere that's in that low carb spectrum is not one size fits all. And if you can't stick to it, if you get so bored with the meat and you can tolerate vegetables, well, there you go. You got to do what you got to do. I would really like to be able to get into more of biblical eating, because even though meat is mentioned so many times, he still mentioned vegetables and fruit, olives, right? Figs, dates, and bread. So I've never been outside of the country other than to Canada one time, and that was for about an hour. But how many people, I wonder how many are in here right now, have went to Europe, Italy, like my dad and stepmom, they went to Italy most recently over the summer. And they said they've lost weight. Well, yes, you are doing a lot of walking, but they indulged in the foods of that country. Pizzas, pastas, bread, lots of bread. People who are gluten intolerant have no problem eating the bread or anything that's out there. So I just think that our food here in America, and maybe some other countries, maybe Canada too, it's just so gross. There aren't enough regulations on these food companies that are making these ultra processed foods. Have you ever made a loaf of bread and within a few days it's stale and it starts to mold within a week? Well, why is it you could have a loaf of bread for months and months on end and nothing? They've killed it. They've killed our food supply, and they're continuing to do so. Why? I don't know. Why they keep getting away with it, I don't know. It makes me sick. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. Why are you anything other than honest? Why not just be who you are? People are going to like you. Not everybody's going to like you. People can relate, that's cool. It doesn't make me a better person or a bad person if you don't relate to me. Everybody is in here because they relate to me and Larry. Hello, King Neptune, because it's my turn. But yeah, Larry and I, we were talking about we need to do a video together, and that's going to happen. I have to go back. I return to work tomorrow. I wish it was next week. I wish I had a week off. I actually have some time off coming up. And then within the next month, I'm going to have very limited time because I was offered a promotion at work and it is full time. No more 4 days, no more 3 days. It's full time. And with the drive, it's just, I'm not going to have a lot of time. So I've been trying to run through my head. I'm like, maybe I could head up a weekly meeting once a week. I've got plans. I got plans, y'all. Okay, so there, yep. It's not teaching anyone anything. Right. I don't think so either, because just like with the carnivore diet, you're going to get off. And unless you've changed, just like carnivore, let's say we all do carnivore for 5 years, strict carnivore, we're doing great. And we decide to get off and we go to something simple and we've completely curbed our binge eating, our emotional eating. And there is no more of that. And we eat moderately like a normal person should. We really won't gain any weight, right? However, the same rule applies with GLP-1. So if you didn't learn your lesson and you didn't make the changes, you're going to gain weight. I'm trying to keep my body out of big pharma, y'all. That's why I talk so heavily on the chemotherapy that was offered to me. And I almost went with a protocol, which that's all we know. You get cancer, you get chemo, surgery, chemo, radiation, you know the protocol. That's what we're taught. And yeah, so I'm trying to keep it out of my system. I would love to do that, but I don't trust it. And the lawsuits are coming out. Cassie, I've had day one since Thanksgiving 2019. I thought I could eat just one meal, right? And go back to strict keto. I just couldn't. My doctor and my kids want me on the shot. My husband is totally against it. Boom. There you go. Don't get on that shot. And many people will argue, well, isn't it better that, you've lost 80 pounds or 100 pounds? Or, well, yeah, sure. That's good for you, but don't go that route. But listen, I know what you meant, Liz. But, I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad. This is coming from a place of concern and love because I don't trust Big Pharma. I have one medication that I'm on, and I'm going to pull up I don't have it on me right now. We're going to talk about this in another video or another live or something like that. I am hypothyroid. I've been on medication for about 25-ish years. And I tried getting off it. I tried weaning myself off. I think maybe that's like a 1.5 year process. I don't even know if it's going to work for me. I know it's scary as heck to me not being on that medication. And I hate the fact that I am dependent on it because it's not good. But that's Big Pharma. Big Pharma does have its hooks into me in that way. And I'm sure if I were to, I lost my train of thought. I started reading a comment. I'm sure if I were to adhere to a very strict diet, whole food. Hold on. What are you eating, sir? Okay. Brisket got a chicken wing yesterday and he didn't have a good night last night. So I heard him crunching and it's not a chicken wing. Sam says, again, most people do well on high fat and don't have to worry, but some like me have lipotoxicity. And she explained how her husband has it when he does less fat. He started losing weight. Again, it's not one size fits all. It's not. Some people thrive on high fat and others really don't. Lose. I knew exactly what you meant. Amen to that. Amen to that. God gave me discernment to know that it's no good. This is answering the question about the cows. I buy half cows from my neighbor. Oh, isn't that awesome? I mean, I love it. Let me run to the store real quick. Knock, knock. Always good, except Chuck is tough. Well, have you cooked it? in cast iron. Have you braised it yet? Because I bet it's not so tough. It's probably a little less fatty, isn't it? Oh man, isn't it true? Gosh, you're right. I never thought of it that way. It is scary. But man, I feel so good. Just like eating only beef and meat. I feel so good. Just like exercise. So I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. Might not be tomorrow. Might not be a year from now. It might be 10 years from now when I'm finally forced and my doctor says, hey, you got to move. You're losing bone density. You know, you need to move. I hope not. Because I do try. Angela has a question. How do you cook your pork steak? I do love meat. There's a couple different ways you can make it. I love it grilled. I think it's best that way, but you can pan fry it. You can pop that bad boy in the oven. You know, I mean, just any other way that you would cook it. You just don't want to overcook it, but it's still, even if you do, it's going to be pretty dang tender. But yeah, if you can grill it. Okay, okay, here we go again. This is what we're talking about. I lived in Germany for 8 years. That was in my 20s. I never had issues with food until I returned to the States. Then it wasn't long and I was having issues. Yes, exactly. That they've just, what they've done to the food, it's criminal. I just bought the book Biblio Diet, Jordan Rubin, Dr. Ash, my daughter and son-in-law started yesterday. Yeah, you know, I did the Daniel diet at one point, and which is mostly vegetable, right? And trying, you know, thinking I was going to be biblical. And yeah, that didn't work out so well. But the difference between Daniel and myself is he was, you know, he was a slave, right? And although he was a favored slave, he was proving a point. But yeah, it's been a while since I've been in my Bible. I'm not going to lie, guys. So anybody else want to throw some context in there, that would be very helpful. What's the best beach in South Carolina? Myrtle Beach? Nope. Hilton Head, probably, but there's a lot of money there. Also, how does it compare to Cocoa Beach, Florida? Cocoa Beach was lovely. It really was. It was a little busy for me, and I still think we have some pictures up here. Now, there are some cool things that I got to see. I don't think I have my turtles, do I? I don't have my turtles. But, oh, well, I mean, this was a picture just of a loggerhead turtle, her tracks. But I think you made the comment of the turtle video. It's not on here, but you know, this was like from the afterburner, from a launch. I got to see rocket launches, and that was really cool. You don't see that in Myrtle Beach or anything like that. How do we take that off? Okay. I mean, and this was just. That was it after I saw it go, and then it just starts to dissipate, and then it just kind of breaks up. You can now see sun up. And it was so cool because I'd never seen anything like that before. But anyway, yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I do like Cocoa Beach. Pros and cons to all of it, right? Because it really depends on what you're looking for. But Myrtle Beach, no, it's dirty Myrtle now, and I don't think I'll return to it. There's a lot of places that I won't go now because this country is so messed up and so divided, and people just like to destroy. You know, so I'd rather not go. Even here in Greenville, we're having issues with certain groups, and it's just like, what is happening? I saw a video, and I've got to stop doom scrolling. That's a challenge that I really want to set up, is ditching the digital technology for a while, because you go through such a range of emotions when you're doom scrolling and you see a cat video. You know, the algorithm knows me pretty well. It's either funny cat videos or dog videos or tragedy. and or true crime, which I had to take a break from that because that was really messing with my brain. Now I'm too afraid to go anywhere. But I saw one yesterday. It was a video of a couple who wanted to take a nice romantic stroll around the Eiffel Tower. Y'all know what's going on, right? I mean, oh my God, I was blown away. Absolutely blown away. It's like they set up this market, and I've never been to, and again, these foreign countries. Like I've heard about going to Mexico, and the salesmen come at you very hard, and saleswomen very hard. Like they're putting glasses on you, sunglasses. Here, buy these. Give me $5 right now. But that's what they're doing. And not only that, they're leaving their trash, and it's changed. Everything has changed, and it's just scary. It's a scary, scary world. So, and that's what happened with Myrtle Beach. I remember being a kid because my brother's been down here for a long time, and we would come and visit, and we'd go to Myrtle Beach, and it was a nice beach. It was clean and, family friendly. Now, there were shootings there. I think it was just a couple nights ago, last night. Insane. Okay. Interesting. Okay. And then she followed up with this for 1 through 3 in the latter days, commanding to abstain from meats. Listen, I know how well I felt on a juicing cleanse, lower fat. I would eat some meats. I know how I felt. Now, mind you, that was 20 years ago when I was 30. So much changed. And I also know how I feel on meat. And it's not that much different. The only difference is that with meat, I am able to stick with a diet for longer and able to get up fighting for longer. And that also could be just with the health issues that I've had to deal with. It's like, okay, girl, it's do or die. You don't have much of a choice. You can't eat like a teenager anymore. But yeah, I believe the Bible. That's what I believe. I believe the Bible. And there's a code in there somewhere that I have to learn to decipher. And prayer. God will reveal an answer. I ask him to sanctify my food. Give me the nutrients and keep the negative out. That's part of my prayer. Maybe not exactly verbatim. I thought this was so interesting that in the last days, people would be forbidding the eating of meat. But this is what we are seeing. And here's my biggest problem with the carnivore or the meat industry is, anybody who has a heart, and if you don't, well, it's not going to bother you, is the treatment of the animals. It breaks my freaking heart. So much. So much. And it's like, is this even worth it? But you could also argue with a vegan diet because the population is really, it's not getting out of control. There's a lot of empty spaces, but everybody just seems to cluster together rather than balance it out. There's no balance. If you're vegetarian or vegan, and your diet consists of mainly plants, all these other animals are killed, right? They're suffering, but it's a little bit different. The argument is so much more different with the commercial industrial meat industry, because these animals are so poorly taken care of. So I don't know. I am so conflicted, guys. That is probably the biggest thing. And I kid you not, it just hurts me. When I'm drinking my dairy, my very inexpensive dairy, I think of a cow who is just pregnant all of her life and constantly hooked up to a machine and separated from her babies. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to make anybody sad. I'm just trying to bring the reality to it. So I don't know. It's absolutely freaking heartbreaking. Like with Mary, she gets a cow from her neighbor. That's totally different. Completely different. I guarantee that cow lived its best life until it's time for it to be nutrition to you and your husband, Mary. And I know you believe that too. I know you're right. Not everybody has access to farms the way the regulations are. It's absolutely abhorrent. Okay. Scripture writing. I started this over a year ago and I love it. I get themes and lists off of Pinterest. Get you a cute journal to write in. There's something about writing it out and reading it. Isn't that truth? Like we text things when we were in school, when we were all in school and we were taking notes, we would take notes. And as you're writing, it just, there's a different connection than there is with any type of digital technology. Yes, device free. Maybe that's a challenge that we could start, because this isn't just about diet. This is all about overall well-being, right? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Papa Frank. I mean, you just don't know. And then you're stuck with all of that meat. I mean, yeah, seasonings, sure, put in some bouillon or whatever. That could always make it better. That's interesting. Perhaps. Again, there needs to be balance. There needs to be balance. I thought the only reason why Danielle Delphin switched to all vegetables because the meat had been sacrificed to false gods. Oh, Daniel. uh, and that made it tainted, right? No, he was imprisoned. I know this much. He was imprisoned, and it was, gosh, where's my Bible? It's in the other room. I should have a Bible in every single room. No, I now that may have been a reason, but to show how strong he was, and people help me out here. There you go, Melissa. I know a farmer who loves her animals, really, really loves them. But at the end of the day, they are food. And that's agreed. I'm in complete agreement with you. But yeah, it's at the end of the day, it is food. But I still think that they deserve. I mean, they're keeping us alive and thriving. So we should treat them with respect. So yeah, I would love them too. And like Larry, they had geese, they had pigs, ducks, and maybe chickens. But I do know that they butchered the pigs, and Larry's dad would tell him not to name the animals because you get attached to them. And I know, have y'all seen pigs at play or cows? They're intelligent and they have no business. They might as well be locking up us. And I know that we have dominion over animals, but that doesn't mean that we have to be cruel. Anyway, okay. My favorite healthy veggie? That's tough. I'm a big fan of roasted cauliflower. I'm a big fan of raw avocado. And I like cabbage. I do like cabbage as well. So, I mean, any one of those three, it's really hard. It depends on how you're going to eat it. I love fried cabbage. I'll put some fried up in bacon grease, put some onion in there, and bacon bits, a little black pepper. Delicious. It's absolutely delightful. But, roasted cauliflower. Put some garlic salt on that bad boy, some oil or some fat. Roast it up. Get sometimes those little pieces, because they're not, you can't get it uniform, the sizes, and roasted. And sometimes it adds extra texture. It's fantastic. But yeah, that would be it. I don't know. So guys, we have went 1 hour and 15 minutes. And I have a very, very busy day. Muffy, I'm so sorry, Mama. I see you. Hello. It's great seeing you too. And I hope everyone is well. Yeah, me too. Me too. So anyway, I hope you all have an amazing day. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. And we didn't just hang out. We're supporting one another and trying to work everything out. And that's all we can do, right? Just try and work things out. But yeah, glad y'all were here and stop by. Let's do it again soon. And I'll be giving updates. Be on the lookout. Maybe within the next week or so, Larry and I will do a video. and a together video. It's been a while since we've been on screen together. But yeah, we'll do a video, and but Larry will be back tomorrow, and I hope you guys have an amazing day, and no cheating, no sugar. How about just no sugar? And we also know that rice is sugar, oats are sugar, pasta sugar, flour sugar. Let's just try and focus on no sugar, other than what's naturally occurring and maybe anyway. You do you. I love y'all. Thank you so much. You guys have an absolute amazing day, and we'll be talking with you soon. Love y'all. I really do.